there is a gyrus here. It's called the inferior frontal gyrus. Okay, it's located at the inferior of the frontal lobe, inferior frontal gyrus here. Then the sulcus here, the superior inferior temporal sulci, they have produced three gyruses: superior, middle, inferior temporal gyruses. Okay, so there's the superior, there's the middle, there's the inferior. The at the end of the lateral fissure between its tip and the intraparietal sulcus is another gyrus here that's called supramarginal gyrus. Supra with an A at the end, supramarginal gyrus. And just below that gyrus here is the angular gyrus. Angular, okay? Angular gyrus, supramarginal gyrus, angular gyrus. Okay, so those are the major gyruses of the cerebrum. We will now talk about the cortical functional areas. Cortical functional areas are basically, cortical means cortex, so this cerebrum, this is the cortex of the cerebrum, the outer surface of the cerebrum. That's cortical. Cortical functional area. So what function does a particular area of the cortex performs? Cortical functional area, okay? So we will begin with the precentral gyrus. The precentral gyrus contains the primary somatic motor area. The primary somatic motor area, which means that it is responsible for carrying out motor activities of skeletal muscles in particular. So movement, voluntary movement, okay? Primary somatic motor area. The postcentral gyrus contains the primary somatic sensory area, so which means that its purpose is sensation of somatic areas, which are skin and skeletal muscle. Okay, so that would be this. And in terms of the skin, the somatic sensation of the skin is three things: touch, pain, and temperature. So touch, pain, and temperature will be here, primary somatic sensory area. That's from the skin. And then you also have same thing, pressure, pain, and temperature coming from skeletal muscles. So primary somatic motor area, primary somatic sensory area. Then you have here right on top of the intraparietal sulcus, this area called the primary somatic and the somatic sensory association area. It means it's associated with the primary somatic sensory area. Okay, it's because every primary area contains an association area. For example, you'll have the primary visual area has a primary visual association area. So there's a primary and then there's an association. So this is the somatic sensory association area here, also involved in sensation from skeletal muscles and skin. Then here, area in front of the precentral gyrus is the somatic motor association area, also called the premotor area. So again, that helps. So basically these association areas work together with the primary areas to carry out some action. So here, for example, planning of movement, initiating movement; here, sensation of movement. Okay. Then below the intraparietal sulcus, you have the supramarginal gyrus, and this area, the supramarginal gyrus, the cortical functional area, is called the sensory speech area. Okay, it is the sensory speech area, also called the Wernicke's area, meaning the speech comprehension occurs here. To understand speech takes place here. Damage to hear means you cannot understand speech.